Hi, I'm Heather.
And I'm Jack.
And we're from Goin' Daddy. And what are we making today, Jack?
Granola!
Granola, yes. Right, so Jack, can you tell us what goes in our granola that we make?
Yes, I can.
What goes
So
into it?
you need some oats.
What kind of oats?
Old-fashioned, not the 1-minute cook stuff, because it will make your granola all
Yeah, it'll make it powdery.
powdery.
Yeah. So what's this?
You're gonna need some pecans, walnuts, and almonds, vanilla extract, cinnamon, clover, honey, or just honey.
And then brown sugar. And then we have a secret ingredient. So let's put those in. Dump these in for me, Jack, okay?
All of these.
So you're going to put the
Best pecans ever.
pecans
Yeah, the pecans.
and the walnuts,
Yeah.
the oats, and the almonds all together in one.
And we're going to just mix it up.
Wow.
And what we'll do is we'll put the recipe in the description.
Box below.
Yeah, so that you guys can have it too. Because right now I'm making a kind of a double batch. And I don't measure things. Put in the cinnamon. And
Cinnamon.
we like ours with a lot of cinnamon in it. So
Look at that cinnamon. But don't make it so cinnamony it's spicy.
it's not.
It's
So
not spicy.
cinnamony, it's so cinnamony, right?
So you can adjust your level of cinnamon that you like in it.
So just put in a ton of brown sugar.
Well, not a ton, but you know.
Not
like
so much that you rot your teeth out.
Yeah. So we're just going to mix that in. That helps it stick together a little bit. And then the honey will help it stick together more. And then our secret ingredient will make it clumpy.
You need a generous amount of honey.
A generous amount, yes.
Very generous.
Can we dump some more in?
No, we gotta mix it up first, and then we'll see where we are, okay? You kind of have to take your hands, squishing it. And kind of get that honey all worked in there. Because that's important so that the next step, the secret ingredient, works right.
Tell us about your apron, Jack.
All right, so our special ingredient that goes in our granola is 1 egg white. And I do that because that makes the granola clumpy and it makes it stick together. Now I'm going to put some vanilla in it. And again,
A generous amount.
a generous amount, just kind of eyeballing it because we like the taste of vanilla and stuff.
Oven preheated to 300 degrees. 300.
Now we have our 2 baking sheets, and we have them, we grease them, and we use coconut oil on ours so that the stuff doesn't stick. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump this onto the tray. All right, excuse me, Jack.
Heavenly.
Yep, heavenly. Gina, I dropped some. Alright, and so what we're going to start to do, just to see how much I have, you're going to mash it out with a potato masher. And this is important also to get those clumps, because you want it like super, super compact on there. And you don't want, and the difference with this granola, with some other recipes, is that you will not stir this. You do not want, if you want clumpy granola, you do not want to stir it. Stirring it will loosen your granola up, and what you'll do is you'll bake it and let it sit till it cools completely. And you'll just, and after it is done cooling, then you'll break it apart, kind of like you would with peanut brittle.
Or toffee.
Or toffee, yep. All right, so depending on what kind of potato masher you have, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And this one is just not working that great. So what I did is I greased my hands with coconut oil. And I'm pushing this down really, really flat. So the coconut oil keeps it from sticking to my hands. But you want to kind of, like I said, compact it down really, really well. So that way it'll crumble and break apart. And make your big clumpy clumps. Now we are going to put it in the oven. And we're going to let it cook.
For how many minutes?
For me, it's not so much minutes because every stove is different. I go by the smell. When you start smelling like the cinnamon and the nuts
Vanilla.
and stuff, and it starts smelling like oatmeal cookies, I go by that. And you'll look, and the edges will be slightly brown.
Mm-hmm.
So I will put in the description, I've probably got them written down somewhere, like how long it needs to actually bake for. But I always go by how it starts to smell. So you're probably looking at, you might want to start checking it at about 20 minutes, you know, and then just kind of go in like 5-minute increments from 20 minutes until it's the right, it has the right look. And we'll show you what that looks like. This went off. It's been in here for about 25 minutes.
Ooh.
And it's starting to smell really good. And if you look at it, the edges are starting to get brown. Now it needs a few more minutes because you want that brown to come a little more into the top, you know, so it's not, it's a lot lighter here in the middle. So we're going to put it back in for about 5 more minutes, which will be about 30 minutes. But let me check this one here and see how this one's doing.
Because that one was the smaller pan, right?
Yeah, this one's the bigger pan. Yeah, this one's going to need a little more because it's not quite as dark on the edges here, if you can see. So we're going to put it back in for about 5 more minutes. And what we may do is pull the smaller pan. And then if the bigger pan needs more time. So we'll just pull the smaller pan and leave the bigger pan in there if it's not done enough yet. All right, let's see here. Yeah, this one's looking good. See how it's gotten browner in the middle and it's really brown on the edges. So that's good. Let me check this one. That one actually looks good too. So we might put that one in just because it's a bigger pan for just like maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. So now what you're going to let happen is you're going to let this cool completely. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. Don't nothing it right now. Just let it cool. That's all you need to do. Cool down now. It is, yeah, cool to the touch. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and find a good place to start. And see how it breaks off into clumps. So now we have clumpy granola. There you go. I will let you have some. All right, so we're finishing up breaking our granola. And now what you can do is you can add raisins to this. I don't usually add the dried fruit while it's baking because, you know, when you bake raisins, they just kind of look like bloated ticks, and that's just kind of gross. But we usually use either dried blueberries or dried cranberries, and the kids can put it in like after they put it in their cereal bowl. And so that's how we usually do it. So that way everyone can put in what they like. If they like cranberries, they can use that. If they like dried blueberries, they can use that. If they like raisins, they can use that. So I hope you enjoyed this. And that is Batty Granola.